Who remembers the shrine? Ah, okay.
You don't remember the shrine.
Beside the shrine tonight. This next song, Waterloo Gets Anyway.
So, Mr. Cat's Okadei, that's my full name. I go by Cat for short. Maryland-based sort of event planning, artist management company, and I'm Nigerian. So I grew up with Fela. Fela is something that means a great deal to me because it was the music that my dad used to play on Sundays. That's how we knew it was Sunday. So like for the first 5 years of my life, I didn't know the days of the week, but I knew Sunday because Sunday meant Fela. It meant Fela, Mom making dodo in the kitchen with grits and pepper stew. Like that's how weird we were. But we grew up in Miami, and that was it. You know, that was part of my upbringing. And while we didn't always understand what Fela was saying, he spoke English. So for us as first generation Americans, it was somebody who we could relate to because we could understand what he was saying. We would listen to Sunny Ade, we listened to Ebenezer Obey, but we couldn't understand all the time what was being said. My mother would have to translate. So with Fela, it was like, okay, he speaks English, so we can get down now. We can get down, and the rhythms, the content, just the straightforwardness, for me was always really interesting. And as I got older, you know, sort of disappeared, sort of dissipated. And then I went to a Jumpin' Funk party, and Rich Medina, who's spinning now, was doing this party for like, I think they've been doing it for like 7 years, and it was just sort of this monthly Afrobeat party. And I'd never seen Afrobeat outside of a Nigerian setting. So I was like, what are they doing to the music? You know, what are people doing? I don't get this. I don't understand. Just play it straight. What are you doing? And so that was my first introduction outside of a cultural aesthetic. And I was like, wow, okay. And since I manage DJs who are big into Fela, it's just become part of what we do. And so 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to do a Fela party because I really wanted to embrace the aesthetic. I wanted to embrace the... He's very outspoken on the belief that indigenous Yoruba religion is valid, that it's a valid religion, and that when you run to other religions, you lose yourself in the process. And for someone who has crazy Muslims and crazy Christians on both sides of the family, sorry Dad, but nuts, and all this pressure to conform, as someone who has an ancestral altar and wears bindis and just looks like this as a Nigerian, it just feels good to hear somebody say that who we are intuitively is okay. We don't have to change it. We don't have to, you know, pray a certain way. We can talk to God however we want. And when I saw the women, I was just like, that's important. That the face painting, the regalness, all of that became very, very important. So the first time we did it, we dressed up as the wives, and it changed our lives. Everybody who put on dots that day says the minute that they looked at themselves, they saw themselves differently. And from that point on, it's just changed everything. So this is the 3rd year we're doing it. This is the first time I'm doing it with a band. We've taken it up a notch. So this is the biggest we've done so far. And my goal is to keep doing it because Fela means a lot to me, but being able to have Nigerians understand what he means to the rest of the world is sort of part of my goal in doing this. So when Nigerians, especially who come and they see it for the first time in this setting, they're like, people are playing Fela like out like that. That makes me feel good because this is something, he's our Bob Marley, and it's something we should celebrate, something that we should never forget, and something that we should learn from. This is a man who taught Nigerians and Africans to be proud of being African and to embrace that. Whatever that looks like, don't apologize for it, don't change it up, embrace it. And I think that's the message that speaks most to me, and that's why I look like this tonight, and that's why even without the makeup, I still wear dots on a regular basis and, you know, listen to Fela every Sunday. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
This was an awesome show. Thanks to Kat and the people from SoSo.com. We came through and we gave them a taste of Afrobeat with all it takes, you know. Most definitely, much respect to Baba Fela, you know. It's not easy to carry a flag of a rebel, a renegade who did not care for too much except the message which went directly to the people, to get the people energized and feeling good. So it's very good show. Kat has a great organization, and big up props to all the people who made this fantastic. Union Street Band was more than honored to be part of this, and hopefully you check out the footage, and we'll see you next time.
Runaway Slaves Production.